I used to have to keep the keys up high, just like I had to keep the knives up high. And Travis, for some reason, was opening up the drawers and he was climbing up them. He was 3, climbing up the...
In the crisp November air, the world seemed to hold its breath as Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift stepped onto their sprawling new estate, an $11 million ranch tucked away in the tranquil northern suburbs of Chicago. It was a moment that felt almost cinematic. 2 of the most recognizable figures in American culture, hand in hand, trading the relentless spotlight for the golden hush of open fields. Their arrival, captured only by the fortunate few, signaled the beginning of a new chapter, one that promised not just luxury, but a rare, elusive kind of peace. As Taylor's laughter mingled with the rustle of autumn leaves and Travis's easy confidence radiated through the chilly air, the anticipation was palpable. The property, stretching over 25 acres, was the kind of place you might expect to find in a dream rather than reality. A 3-story mansion with a stately gray stone facade, towering windows reflecting the endless sky, a heart-shaped pool glimmering in the sunlight, and gardens that seemed to promise both solace and adventure. For Taylor, whose life has been measured in stadium echoes and chart-topping refrains, the idea of walking barefoot in the grass, unhurried and unseen, was intoxicating. For Travis, the prospect of a private retreat, complete with plans for a mini soccer field and a sports complex, offered the perfect counterpoint to the thunderous cheers of NFL Sundays. Together, they envisioned a sanctuary where creativity and camaraderie would flourish, where the demands of fame could be set aside for the simple joys of shared mornings and quiet evenings. Inside, the house was a study in understated elegance. Every room told its own story, curated with Taylor's love of detail and Travis's appreciation for comfort. Creamy whites and ash grays set a calming tone, while the warmth of natural wood and the gleam of Italian marble blended modernity with classic charm. The kitchen, expansive and sunlit, opened onto the backyard through sliding glass doors, a perfect setting for the post-game parties Travis was already planning, or the spontaneous songwriting sessions Taylor imagined with a guitar and a cup of tea. But beyond the trappings of wealth, it was the intimacy that stood out. Here, a nook for reading. There, a window seat overlooking the gardens. In the barn, echoes of laughter and the distant promise of horses to come. Even the guest house, nestled under ancient oaks, seemed less a structure than an invitation for friends and family to become part of their story. A trusted architect revealed that Taylor insisted on spaces that felt lived in, not just designed. She wanted corners to curl up in, walls that could hold memories, and a recording studio discreetly tucked away, somewhere inspiration could strike without warning, far from the scrutiny of the outside world. For Travis, the vision was equally personal. The outdoor gym, the football field, and the garage for his growing collection of classic cars were less about display and more about the freedom to play, to move, to breathe. As they strolled the property on that first evening, the sense of belonging was unmistakable. Taylor, with a glass of rosé in hand, traced wildflowers along the fence, her words painting pictures of future songs. Travis watched her, the easy smile that fans had come to recognize now softened by something deeper, a happiness that seemed to come from the earth itself. The sun dipped behind the fields, turning her hair to gold and the pool to liquid fire. Somewhere nearby, a neighbor watched from a respectful distance, marveling at the surreal reality of having the world's biggest pop star and an NFL legend as neighbors. The excitement rippled through the local community. The prospect of increased security and the inevitable pilgrimage of fans only seemed to add to the sense of occasion. Yet those closest to Taylor and Travis insisted their intentions were clear. They wanted to be good neighbors, to respect the rhythms of rural life, to be part of something grounded and genuine. The farm, they said, was more than an escape. It was a commitment, a symbol of the life they were building together. In the weeks that followed, whispers of their plans began to circulate. Taylor's friends hinted at the possibility of a small, private wedding on the property, perhaps in 2026 to mark their 3rd anniversary. Travis dreamed aloud about family cookouts, children's laughter echoing across the lawns, and quiet nights under the stars. It wasn't just a house. It was a future. The press, always hungry for a headline, speculated about the couple's next moves. Would Taylor write her next album in the solitude of her garden? Would Travis, after a storied career, one day retire to the peaceful retreat he now called home? The answers mattered less than the fact that, for the first time in a long while, both seemed perfectly content to simply be present, to live each day as it came, side by side without the need for spectacle or approval. And yet, even as they withdrew from public view, their influence only seemed to grow. Fans followed every update, dissecting glimpses of the ranch for clues about their lives. Local businesses dreamed of the day Taylor might drop by for coffee, or Travis might coach a youth team at the nearby park. The farm became a kind of legend in its own right, a place where possibilities shimmered just beyond the horizon. Meanwhile, the world of sports and music continued to swirl around them. Travis's career, already the stuff of legend, marched on with new records and unforgettable moments. The story of his streak, the unbroken chain of games with at least one reception, became a metaphor for resilience, for showing up again and again, no matter the odds. The day rookie cornerback Williams ended DeAndre Hopkins' own streak was a reminder of just how rare and remarkable Travis's achievement had become. Each catch, each yard gained, was another thread in a tapestry that stretched back years and promised to endure for many more. Taylor, for her part, remained a force of nature, her music evolving, her influence expanding, her ability to turn personal experience into universal truth undiminished. Together, they embodied something both aspirational and relatable, the search for meaning beyond accomplishment, for connection beyond adulation. In the quiet of their new home, away from the relentless pace of tours and games, they rediscovered the pleasures that fame so often makes elusive: a walk at dusk, the scent of rain on freshly turned earth, the comfort of knowing that at the end of each day the person you love is near. It was, in its way, the ultimate love story, not because of the headlines or the accolades, but because of the choice to build something lasting, brick by brick, memory by memory. As winter settled in and the first snows dusted the fields, the house glowed with promise. The sound of laughter drifted from the kitchen. Music, a new melody perhaps, or the echo of an old favorite, floated out through open windows. In the distance, the city sparkled, but here in the country time seemed to slow, allowing Taylor and Travis to savor each moment, to lay down roots, to begin again. The world would no doubt continue to watch, to speculate, to dream about what might come next. But for now, on a quiet November night, as the moon rose over an $11 million farm in Chicago, two of America's brightest stars found themselves exactly where they wanted to be. And in the hush that followed, it was clear that the real magic had only just begun.